Hello guys, happy great day everyone. Happy Friday to all. Meron lang po ako ipapakita sa inyo po na kunting istorya lang po. Kayo na po ang bahala na umintindi kung ano po ba ang totoo. Kasi iba-iba naman kasi tayong pananampalataya, iba-iba din ang ating palaisipan, iba-iba din ang ating pagkaintindi. So, sa istoryang ito, meron po tayong mapupulot, nakaliwanagan. So, I'm not saying na they are true, that is correct, that is a real state, or kahit ano pa man yan. Pakinggan muna natin ang mga sisi kung ano po ba ang sinasabi dito. So, keep on watching, okay? To my videos. Thank you.
Nakaakit sa ganda. Umaapaw sa likas na yaman, ang sinasabing susi sa pangkalahatang kasaganahan at kaunlaran ng Pilipinas. Ito rin ang lugar na hindi na dinalaw ng tunay na kapayapaan. Biktima ng hidwaan, laboratorio ng karahasan, lupang dinilig at patuloy na dinidilig ng dugo ng galit at paghihiganti.
I have yielded more to prudence than desire.
Mahigit 3 dekada nang ihinahanap ng solusyon ang kaguluhan sa Mindanao. Ngunit sa bawat hakbang tungo sa kapayapaan, tila lalong nagiging mailap ang katahimikan. Napakalalim ang ugat ng kaguluhan sa Mindanao. Sa pag-aaral ni Oswaldo Cabell, lumabas na ang gera sa Mindanao ay kabuntot pa ng Holy Crusade.
The problem started long before the Crusades took place. And then during the Crusades, they fought for 700 years, or more or less, to possess the Holy Land. And of course, the Muslims won in that Crusades war. Political, religious, because the Crusades was more political also. But there was the religious undertone.
Hindi na daw nawala ang hidwaan sa pagitan ng mga Kristiyano at Muslim na naumpisahan sa krusada. Nadala ito ng mga Kastila sa Pilipinas na noong panahon ng ating mga ninuno ay isang bansang Muslim.
About 200 years, more or less, before Magellan set foot in Cebu, he was a happy people, the Filipinos, because the Philippines was an Islamic state as early as the 13th century, more or less. From Luzon, from Tugigaraw to Sulu. Islamic state yan. That's why we have Raja Suliman, all of these Raja. These are Malaysian terms, or they are not. So, the Philippines was an Islamic state. Now, when Magellan came, in the manner that they came, oppressive, colonial, they disturbed a happy people.
Ayon kay Cabell, isang Katoliko, ang pagdadala ng mga Kastila ng Kristyanismo at pagpatay sa Islam ay hatol na rin ng kamatayan sa mga ninuno nating Muslim.
And it was very, very clear from the instructions written by the King of Spain to the governors in the Philippines to kill the Muslims, wipe them out.
Sa libro ni Blair at Robertson, nakasaad ang plano ng mga dayuhang bagong salta sa Pilipinas. Sinabi ni Cabell na parang lason sa mga Kastila ang mga ninuno nating Muslim, lalo na ang mga nasa Sulu at Mindanao na may 2 siglong nakikitungo sa mga Arabo.
They noticed that the people prayed like the way the Moors did in Spain. Their appearance, especially in Sulu and Southern Philippines, you'll notice that they had the features of Arabs because there were 2 or 3 centuries of Arab interaction with these Zulu people already, intermarriage and all that.
Dahas at hindi panunuyo o pakiusap ang gamit daw ng mga Kastila para gawing Kristiyano ang mga Pilipino.
Except for the Filipinos in Southern Philippines. And when I talk of Southern Philippines, I mean Mindanao and particularly the Arm region. But except for them, the rest of the Philippines were not able to stand up against the force of colonialism and the spread of Christianity. The Filipino Rajas, yung mga Muslim din sila nung araw, ang dali nila na lured ng, the Spaniards were very well versed in. If they don't use force or persuasion, they have other means, of making people to accept them. And so even those Rajas before, they were supposed to be datus or sultans, they ended up encomenderos lang. They became overseer of the vast estate